just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey everybody, welcome to Late Late Horror Show. I am Dino with some full moon features recommendations. You guys need to see these movies. For one reason or the other, you gotta see it. It's just it needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it done. I'd say the number one full moon features, and I picked full moon features because full moon movies are a staple of the 80s and 90s. After the 2000s, it kind of gets really bad and really cheesy in my mind. A lot of people love Evil Bong and all these other movies that are out there, but listen, uh, early 90s is where Full Moon is at. And the first movie I'm going to talk about that everybody should get a hold of, definitely should watch. If you're a vampire fan, you should watch it for sure. Subspecies 1991. The vampire look is just fantastic. I love it. Little different take on the vampire. But this is Ted Nicolau's Subspecies. Is a gloomy movie of passion and barbarity and is among the best vampire movies ever made. The film follows three students drawn into the conflict between a noble vampire and his wicked brother in the hills of Transylvania. And the set design and the pieces, locations is so beautiful, so good, so well done. The portrayal of Radu Vladislav, a scorned vampire by Anders Hove, is tragic and eerie. In the movie, Hove is facial modifications that give him a monster appearance. Really does. Unlike some of the vampires who can be very charming. And so, this is a monster. This is a monster. His appearance, and while preserving his humanity, it allows a whole gamut of emotions to flow through the outstanding performance, which it is. Fans of the realistic special effects, exquisite production design, and medieval horror films should not miss Subspecies, as it's among some of the best vampire films. 100%. This movie has it all. It has feel, has emotion, has an original take on a vampire with a twist, and spawns several sequels, which make it a great series to watch. So Subspecies franchise, fantastic. But Subspecies 1991, definite recommendation. Another one I'm going to recommend, which is a personal favorite of mine, just because it's so quirky, it's so odd, so different. I mean, come on. You got a big head in a wheelchair that's controlling people. I mean, come on. Does it get any better? And he looks so good. Perhaps among the oddest movies that viewers are likely to see in their lifetime is Head of the Family. It centers on a down and out Southern pair who act a bit cheesy, but that's what I love about this film. Who plan to kidnap a household of misfits, led by a huge freak, Head, riding on a wheelchair. Oh, once you see him in the wheelchair, you'll be like, what the heck is that? I guarantee you, if you haven't seen Head of the Family, check it out. If folks thought the synopsis was strange, just see the movie. What follows is a perplexing, frequently disgusting, and thoroughly intriguing experience. It is a fun horror comedy with a few oddball situations, making it a decent choice for viewers. So my second recommendation, definitely, Head of the Family from 1996. It is so darn good. If you're a fan of cheesy, you must see this. My third recommendation from Full Moon Features is definitely going to be Castle Freak from 1995. Castle Freak is a bit more serious, a bit more eerie, dark, gothic. it's just a very haunting movie and very well done. Again, if you see full moon movies, full moon features now, you wouldn't even understand that they made this quality work back then. Um, the Story Tale, directed by Stuart Gordon, centers on John Riley and his family as they relocate to an Italian castle only to learn that a terrifying monster is still imprisoned in the crypt. The movie is elegant and brutal as the beast eventually breaks free and wreaks mayhem on John and the others, and wreaks havoc on them in a strange way. I won't give nothing away because you got to see it. It's a recommendation. But this creature, whatever, it's so good, so good. Try not to spoil anything. Castle Freak seems to be a modest story of survival and atonement that is profoundly unsettling and clever in its presentation. It is a movie that is certain to stay with audience for quite a while. That it will. There is, again, kind of a shocking scene towards the end of the film that kind of disgust, but also, I'm not going to say make you have pity for the creature, but maybe a little bit. It's a movie all of its own. It's got everything I love. Like I said, a little bit more on the serious side, a little bit shocking at the end. In between, kind of a haunting story. It's very, very good. So that's my next recommendation. Last recommendation I'm going to have for Full Moon Features. It's kind of a favorite for a lot of people. It's not a favorite of mine, but it's certainly up there, and it's in my top 10. It's definitely unique and different, and it's Trancers from 1984. Trancers from 1984. Perhaps among the most intriguing, cleverest, and smartest cheap ones ever produced, because Trancers was made cheaply, but they used special effects in a way that made it. There's something when everything comes together, like when you have heart and you're really putting your heart and soul into a movie, no matter how cheap it is, somehow there's just a spark of magic sometimes that hits, and Trancers has that. So yes, cheap, but it's a Charles Band, who, the lead guy, the man at Full Moon Features. Not a one-man show, but he's in control of all of this. So his masterwork to confront a wicked cult head who has also chosen this path and is executing the forebears of city leaders who are subsequently killed out of reality. The psyche of a police officer is transported back into history. So there's a little bit of teleportation, time travel going on here between this police officer. It's a little Blade Runner-ish on the cheap side of things, if that makes sense, a little bit of sense. But yeah, he transports back into history to inhabit the corpse of his forefather, Phil Deathston. Okay? Despite the fact that many people would find it absurd, the film is nonetheless considered to be one of the greatest full moon films ever made. And I kind of agree. Trancers is not. I'm more of the cheesy 80s, 90s, kind of the head of the family kind of. Even more so Puppet Master. Well, you know what? Trancers might. Does it edge out the first Puppet Master? I don't know. But does it? Is it better than Subspecies? I love vampire films, so Subspecies is going to be recommended higher for me. Head of the Family. That's probably two. Subspecies, Head of the Family, Castle Freak, then Trancers. So there you go. Some recommendations that you must check out. These are all on Amazon with subscription. You could also just go to Full Moon and subscribe on their website. But these are great recommendations. I don't think anybody would be disappointed if you like this channel and any of these movies that I just mentioned. So with that said, until next time, take care, you guys. Peace, and God